Hello, Midnight Muses here. So I'm going to do a little bit of a chatty get ready with me today. Probably not going to talk about the products that I'm using, just going to throw them on my face. If you're interested, as usual, comment below and I will let you know what I'm using, but I'm not really changing much of anything. I do have a little bag of goodies that I found while I was cleaning the other day, so I might try like a couple of different things, but nothing special. Just wanted to like talk a little bit, basically talk about like how even though I was posting last week, I wasn't really like updating my social media that I was posting last week, which doesn't really help anyone or anything, because unless you are a subscriber, of which I have very few, no one really knew that I was posting, because I was so sick that I would post the video, but then by the time I was done editing and wanted to do like, you know, the picture to like show what I'm doing, I just didn't want to take a picture of myself, or I was feeling so sick that by the time I was done editing and ready to post, I just passed out. So I'm very, very sorry about that, but I do have my links available and I will update those better this week, as this week I am feeling like a million times better. I know usually I've been kind of getting into the schedule of posting on Tuesdays and Fridays. I did not post yesterday because yesterday was the anniversary of my best friend's passing, and I give that day to her every year. It's been 19 years this year, and I feel the least that I can do as a remembrance to her is to give her one day a year where I don't do anything else. I go to the cemetery, I write her a letter, I put flowers at her grave, and I just... It's almost like my like day of mourning for her every year, and it's just, that's what I do and will probably continue to do for the rest of my life. She had a very tragic passing when we were young. She died when we were 12. It was not a good situation, a very sad situation. But I don't really want to talk about it today because it'll just bring me down, and it's always been hard because she did die literally exactly 1 week before Christmas. And I'm sorry, the sun is really bright today, so if you get like flashes and it's hard to see me, I do apologize. This is the best that I can do with the setup that I have. As I've said before, I can only shoot during the day, because if I post at night, then I'm backlit, which makes seeing difficult. So the best way to show the actual makeup that I'm doing and for you to see me properly and not have like glare on in like my glasses or anything is when I use daylight. But it is a very bright winter's day today, which can sometimes be frustrating. But anyways, yeah, so yesterday was for her. I will always love her and keep her close in my heart. But I do try not to focus on it after the day. Leading up to it, yes, but after the day I do try not to focus on it, just because when, you know, she did die just at Christmas, and it's hard when you're so sad at this time of year, when, you know, you have family and everyone expects you to be happy and joyous, but you're not necessarily as happy as everybody else is because you're sad, and I mean, and you have a right to be sad because you lose somebody at this time of year. It's difficult, especially when the circumstances are as horrible as those circumstances were, but at the same time you don't want to bring down everybody else. And then there's of course those not so nice people out there that are like, well, it was so long ago now, like you still let this bother you. And it's like, it will always bother me. I think that's one thing that, like, unless you've lost someone that you love desperately, people don't necessarily understand, is that the pain of losing somebody never goes away, and it just doesn't. You know, they tell you with time it gets better, and to a degree, yes, but I wouldn't necessarily say that it gets better, because it really does still hurt just as much, but it's easier to get through my day and to like function and stuff. Like, it's not like this crippling grief that it was essentially other than that day. It's not crippling anymore, but it's never stopped being painful. I've never stopped hurting, and I mean, 19 years in, at this point, I'm thinking I probably never will, and talking to people who have lost people that they love and that are close to you, that, you know, you don't, and it's different, because, like, I lost my grandparents at a very young age, my mom's parents, not my dad's, And it was funny, when I lost my grandmother, that was very, very sad for me. I was very, very sad when she passed because it was a very sad passing. But my grandfather, who died just over a year later, my dada, I actually wasn't sad when he died at all. And I was actually closer to him, but I wasn't sad because I was 7 when he passed. And, you know, kids logic, I just knew how much he loved my granny. And so when he passed, I was kind of happy because I knew that, well, now he's with granny again. And so he's happy again because he was so sad without her. So yeah, I'll never see him again. I did understand that, but I didn't understand the sadness that everybody else felt, because to me it was like, well, he's happy now. So if he's happy, shouldn't we all be happy? But that's kids logic. But it still made it easier to deal with. And even though I still, like, to this day miss him as well, it's very different than to how I feel about the loss of my best friend, where she was definitely taken far too early and never got to have a life. And I think that's what makes it so hard, is when you lose someone young, is the fact that, you know, that they never got to do all the things that you are now doing. Like, you know, I'm in love, I'm trying to slowly start organizing getting married and doing all these big life moments. And I remember when we were kids, her goal in life was to grow up, move somewhere far away, and have a family and give them the life that she didn't have. And knowing that she'll never do that will, again, never stop being hard. And so I do try to make sure that I kind of never, I always make her a part of everything. And when I get married, I'll probably have an empty seat for her. And I already know that I'm going to name, if I have a daughter, I'm going to name her after her. So keeping her memory alive in the ways that I can, but without throwing it in everyone's face about how, you know, heartbroken I am every day, day in and day out. Which I think is nice, because that way she's always there, but not there, you know, that kind of thing. Anyways, I didn't want to talk about that too much today. As I said, I'm trying to get back into the fact that I'm not sick anymore, feeling good. Christmas is now less than a week away. My cousin and my niece arrive tomorrow. Actually, there is a small chance that I might be able to have one or both of them on this channel. I don't know about that because my niece is 5, and well, she would love to, because her favorite thing is to play with makeup, and I would love to do a whole niece does my makeup thing. I don't know if I'm going to do that, just because she is so young, and I don't necessarily want to put, like, a kid on the internet like that, you know, even for a fun thing. You want to make sure you have permission from both parents, because I know my cousin would be fine with it. I just don't want to do it without permission from both. And only my cousin is coming. But we'll see. We will see. Either way, I can't wait for them to get here. They get here at about noon tomorrow, and I know that's going to really lift my spirits. And I'm really trying to, because my boyfriend also hasn't had the best of times at Christmas for quite a few years now. And even last Christmas, we were together last Christmas, but he was so sick that he really didn't get to enjoy anything. He was in my room in bed, sick all day. Couldn't even have family dinner or anything. So he didn't get to enjoy the season. So this is like his first like big family Christmas that he's had in, I don't even know when, like many years, because I just, you know. So I'm really looking forward to, I don't know, just doing like some nice stuff with him and having him meet I can't wait for him to meet my cousin and my niece. I know that that's going to be just the absolute best thing ever, because they are so wonderful and they already love him so much, even though they've never met him, just because we're, you know, a stupidly close family, and it's going to be good. I'm not worried about that. I just can't wait. It's going to be the best time. I think I might actually really properly enjoy Christmas this year, and I'm trying to really hold on to that mood of just enjoying the family time, because that is one thing I will say I like about Christmas, is how much family time I get. And actually, usually I work all through Christmas, and of course last Christmas I didn't get as much time either, because I was taking care of Sean so much because he was so sick. So I really didn't get too much family time. And the 3 years prior to that, I worked every Christmas, so I didn't get as much family time. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. And that's why I worked at Christmas, because one, I was single, but two, because I do have a hard time and it is hard for me to kind of keep that happy feeling going. And I think that people don't realize that, when you're depressed, especially at like a time of year like this, when everyone's expected to be happy and thankful and joyous, and it's not that we aren't thankful for our family, it's just, when you're depressed, you're depressed. And so you kind of almost want to have an excuse to hide away. So I used that excuse to work, because I didn't have to work every single year. I mean, they definitely like pushed for me to, but I could have said no. I worked last Christmas, I want off this Christmas, but I didn't. And I did that because I get so depressed at Christmas, and I don't want to bring other people down, because that's my problem, it's not theirs. It's that, again, that difficulty of when you have depression, you never want to feel like you're a burden on anybody. So I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm sending out all the love to all the people that suffer so hard with mental illness at this time of year, and how much worse it really is on us, because we try so hard to be so happy. And I don't know if the people around us realize how incredibly hard we are trying, and how much we really don't want to bring down the mood, and how we do everything we can to try and prevent it. And sometimes we can, sometimes we can't, but we do try. And I think that's what matters more than anything else, is the effort that gets put in. So I don't know what colors I want to do today. I kind of want to do something a little bit like bold, but I feel like I've done that. I don't know, maybe I'll throw in some Aries and Leo today. I'm just using the same zodiac palette that I use like literally every single day of my life. But yeah, it is so hard, and there are a couple of people that I need to start checking up on, because just as I have a hard time, I know others that also struggle this time of year. And sometimes I concentrate so much on like trying to be happy for my family and like not bring down everyone, that I sometimes forget to check up on those friends of mine that I have that struggle just as much. So I'm really going to try and put in the effort this year to make sure that I check in on them a little bit more and make sure that everybody's doing okay, or at least as okay as we can. That's what it comes down to being as okay as you can, because no one needs to be perfect. And I think that if you're sad at the holidays, you have a right to be sad at the holidays. There's always a reason for everything, and I don't judge anyone for that, because Lord knows I'm always sad at the holidays. Anyways, this is a really depressing Chatty Get Ready With Me. I'm really sorry about that. I'm really trying to build myself back up. And you know what? And I've had a good morning. I went and had massage therapy with my old school friend again today, which was really, really nice. And as usual, we talked about food, because he is with a Trinidadian, which is hilarious. So it's, he was telling me about how he tried making doubles the other day and didn't realize that the recipe called to make 40 of them until he was like well into it and was like, oh Jesus Christ, there's gonna be a lot here. And I was like, yeah, well, get Trinidadians around doubles and we kind of go ham, so that's just how it is. They are so tasty. We love them so much. For anyone that doesn't know what that is, that's like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like two pieces of like a flat, soft, doughy, yellow kind of thing. It looks like cornbread, but it's not. And then it has like chana in it, usually with some tamarind. Sometimes it's spicy. Wow, this eyeliner sucks. I thought this would be a good one. That Eyeko brand is supposed to be really good. Everyone tells me that the Eyeko brand is good. And I was given the eyeliner, and it is not, like, it's, oh no, that's not working. We're not using that. I'm gonna have to get rid of that or give it to somebody who does actually like it. I think I'm gonna have to go with my usual Trooper liner, because I'm not gonna spend 5 minutes putting on a wing today. I have stuff to do. We still don't have our tree finished, and it was really funny but sad. My mom was yelling at my sister the other day because she was wrapping presents and putting them under the tree, and Mom was like, what are you doing? We don't have the tree finished. You can't put presents under the tree until the tree's finished, because then I can't finish putting stuff up on the tree because you got presents there. and it's blocking me from doing what I gotta do. So I'm just trying to get ready, shoot this video. I have to print out some pictures because we do this thing for all the family. We have like little frames that are ornament frames. We put their pictures in them and add them to the tree. So I gotta get a picture of Sean. Oh shoot, that ring is now super long. So I have to get a picture of Sean printed and cut, and then as well as my sister's boyfriend, and then my cousin Tracy and my little Eva, so that we can add them to the tree this year. And I did a fun thing last night that I'm really excited about. My niece is obsessed with my cat, and I didn't realize that I got her 2 presents because I just put some makeup that I have that I don't really use, but that's like colorful and fun that she would love. And so I put that in an old Ipsy bag and wrapped that for her because she would love that. And then, but I'd also made her an ornament that I like painted and put her name on, and it's really cute and whatnot. But then I was like, hang on a minute, I have 2 presents for her. So I thought the most hilarious thing ever would be if I made it look like Salem gave it to her. So I wrapped it, and I wrapped it really, really messy, and I signed it Salem. And I know that the moment that she gets that on Christmas, that she is going to absolutely flip out and be like, oh my god, the cat got me a present. And that, like, I could put anything in that little thing and she would go nuts. So the fact that it's going to be a little ornament with her name on it, that she will absolutely go crazy. So I'm very, very, very excited. I really can't wait to see them. They really just make everything better. It's I don't know if I've talked about it before, but like before I was in the hospital and all of that kind of stuff, when I noticed that I was starting to like really, like, my mood was starting to really go down and things weren't going well for me, a little thing that I would do to kind of like perk myself back up and like find some stability so that I could do better was I would just take a little trip to Florida, whether it was for a week, 2 weeks, whatever. I would go to Florida because that's, they're not extended family to me. To me, they are a part of my immediate family, and I would just stay at my aunt's house and hang out with her and my cousins, and I would just, I don't know, it's just, they're so loving. They talk through everything. My cousin who's coming, she also suffers a lot from mental illness, and we have a lot of similarities, a lot of differences, and she's also, she just finished nursing school as well, so she's also really knowledgeable as well, and that's where her focus is. So it's been really good to have like someone who not just listens to you, but like has felt it too. Not always the exact same things, but to enough of a degree that she understands what I mean when I talk about things. And my aunt is so loving and not judging, and she just I don't know, she just loves you so unconditionally that you, when you're at your worst, you can tell her everything and she's not going to freak out or like send you off to the hospital. She's just going to tell you how much she loves you, and that no matter what you're going through and no matter what you're feeling and how much you feel that you're alone and that no one's there for you, that she is, and she will always be there. And it's just, it's always been the best thing. And for years, and I mean years, because my breakdown lasted a very long time. My breakdown, all in all, probably lasted for about 3 to 4 years, and she is what kept me going, and my cousins down there more than anybody else. Like my brother and my mom did like wonderful jobs here, but when I really couldn't do it anymore, they are the ones that kept me feeling strong, and that, you know, I could just keep fighting and I'd get through. And, you know, I'm really sad that, you know, I still ended up falling as far as I did, but it would have happened literally years sooner if it wasn't for them, because they keep me strong and they keep me believing in myself, and they give me so much strength, and I am so forever grateful for them, and always will be. And that's why I'm so happy that I get to spend Christmas. And also, I actually used to spend Christmas with them every year growing up. We would spend our Christmases together, which is another reason why I said they feel more like siblings as opposed to cousins. And we've always acted more like siblings than cousins. We are so stupidly close, and that's why, like, I don't call their kids like cousins. Their kids are my nieces and nephews, and that's just how it is. And it'll be the same with my kids, you know, they'll be calling them aunties and uncle as well. It's just, I love how close we are and having that kind of family, and it's such an important thing. And again, I feel so bad for people who don't have that. You know, my boyfriend is one of those people, he's never had family, you know, he's only now got family because he has my family now. And like, he has like a couple of people in his life, but when I say a couple people, I literally mean a couple people. Like, I have this huge family, and you know, it's hard because they're far, but let me tell you, WhatsApp is probably the best thing to ever be invented, because we just video chat all day, like every day. I literally have already video chatted with my cousin and my aunt twice today, and we'll be calling them again tonight, and she's gonna be here tomorrow. And it's just, but that's just what we do. We talk every day like that, and it's been so helpful for me. And I'm just, I can't, again, I keep saying how thankful I am. And I mean, it's Christmas, so I guess you really feel it at Christmas how thankful you are for the family that you have. And I am very thankful for the family that I have. And you know what, I think it's too because I wasn't always so thankful, because I've been hurt by certain family as well. And there was a time, more when I was a teenager, when I kind of lashed out at everybody, even the family that I knew that loved me and cared for me and weren't judging me and just wanted me to get better and to get healthy. And I lashed out at them too, because I was just so angry at absolutely everyone and everything. And because I did have some family that didn't understand, to me it meant that therefore nobody could understand. And I was stubborn. I wasn't in a good place, and I treated people that I shouldn't have badly. And I'm so thankful that they've all forgiven me, and no one's ever held a grudge. And like, I don't know. This video has gone from me being super depressed about losing my best friend and being sad at Christmas and depressed at Christmas to how thankful I am for family. But, you know, that's how it happens sometimes. Just putting on a nude lip, because I'm going to go visit my friend after this, and she always has a nude lip. So, wearing it for her. It's funny, actually. She likes to wear, if she knows she's going to see me, I bet you she's going to have a super dark lip on. Because that's what I usually do. Or colorful one. But either way, she doesn't usually do a colorful lip or a dark lip. She loves to go with the more brownie nudes. But whenever we see each other, we always kind of be like, oh, I wore this for you because I know that you love this. And oh, well, I wore this for you because I know that you love that. And we're so ridiculous. She's my old roommate too, and she's totally my bestie. She's great. She's funny. Oh, yeah. It's nice to use a real setting spray. But yeah, that's it. Well, good to go now. Feel good. Take the hair out. Let those curls continue to be messy, but in a slightly more pretty way. I felt so bad. I went to Starbucks the other day for another free coffee, and the barista there was like, oh my gosh, how do you get your hair to curl like that? I've been trying to do that for ages, and it never does. And like, I love like the fading, and like, how did you make it do that? And it was like, oh my gosh, like, this is like a month's worth of fading. I have to get it redone next week. And to make matters worse, I'm like, I'm really sorry, but this is actually my bed head. And she was so like, not like angry, but like, you know, when like you've been trying to do something and then someone's like, oh yeah, this is just like like how my hair is or how my face is or whatever. And you're just like, what is this? She was so upset. And I was like, oh, but it's, you know what? It made me feel good, because I used to be so embarrassed about my curls. I used to be frizzy and drive me nuts. And now it's like, I love that I have this like wild curly hair. So I don't know, it's always nice when someone's like, oh, I want to do that. How do you do that? It's like, oh, that's just what my hair does. This is how I wake up. But anyways, I hope you guys are all having a great day. I'm so happy to be feeling better. I will do everything I can to post as usual on Friday, but I will say at that point I will have my cousin and my niece here. It's going to be very, very chaotic in this house. So I don't know if I'll actually have the time to, or if they're going to be in the video or not in the video, or what's going to happen, but I will do my absolute best to have a video posted as usual on Friday evening. Anyways, I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you Friday. All right, bye.